What's up, patrons? Welcome back to another Her Lounge podcast. I am excited. We are here. We're back. Happy New Year. Let's take over. You know?
I am woman, hear me roar.
So with that being said, here's your quote. Pack your bags. You're moving to a place called Breakthrough. That's all I'm saying.
That's a good shirt, actually.
Right? Just break through whatever your situation is.
Break through whatever barrier.
Yeah,
whatever
exactly.
ceiling you think that you're on.
Exactly. I thought that was a good one. I was like, you know what? Pack your bags and just, that's it. You're moving into 2022.
I like it. It's a good way to start this Patreon episode. We had a
Sure.
new patron, I think, that signed up day before yesterday.
Yeah.
New HERR
It's
Lounge
growing.
patron.
It's growing.
We have the challenge. Go
Okay.
ahead.
So real quick, if you're wondering if you didn't get a box, right? Here's what it is. If you sign up after the 15th of whatever month it is, you don't get a box until the following month. I send out all entrepreneur boxes on the 15th of each month. So let's just say you signed up on, so January 1st, you have to be in my, like, if you signed up, I'm sorry. So December, let's say you signed up in December for like on December 16th, 17th, whatever it is, you're getting a box in January.
Yeah.
You're not getting the December box. So just so you kind of know how that works, guys, just because it's really hard for me to keep, I have to update, get a new list every month to send to the vendors because people sign up. People go from the $5 tier to the $25 tier. And so I'm having to like check it. So just so you know, if you wondered why you've never gotten a box for a specific month, it's probably because you didn't sign up within the time frame of the box that goes out.
Have you ever put out the call for people that might have companies they want to suggest, or even if they have their own?
So Ilsa's working on some graphics for me so that can be what I'm doing next.
Nice.
So yes, we are going to do all that. Because like I said, crazy thing too. This girl that started doing she was the first person to do CBD facials here in Houston.
Didn't even say anything.
She came to the pop-up yesterday and I was like, hey, what happened to you? Like I used to help her. I used to do like this. If you went to her, she'd give me like, after so many people referred, she'd give me like my free facial or whatever. And so, oh my God, guys, I can't with Rob.
Why do you look at me like that? You're just waiting for me to make a reaction.
So anyway, she said she wanted to participate because she was starting kind of like the serums that the other people that are going to be in the January box were doing. And so, but she's expanded her like face, like, I guess like your beauty line, you know what I'm saying? So she's expanded it. So she said she's added like, I think like 4 more items to her website, and they're literally, she's making them at home. Like she's made videos of like her like grinding shit, and like, they're pretty cool. She hasn't made them in a while, but it was nice to see her. And so I told her about the entrepreneur box. I'm like, hey, you want to participate? I'm like, I don't ask for nothing. Like I don't, even with the promo code, like, you know what I'm saying? I just want you to give them a discount. Like, this is my way of kind of like you participating in, me having a platform for women who are trying to like build their, their branding,
yeah.
So she's like, oh, okay, what's up? She's, anyway, hopefully she'll join. And then if I can at least have 10 products in the box, I can't wait till we get there.
You didn't really, we touched on it on the free episode, but you said it was good, the pop-up. It was at 8th Wonder.
It was at 8th Wonder Brewery.
You said it still felt kind of good because it was sunny, but how was the whole experience? Like what? I didn't even know you were doing it, honestly. I totally forgot. Maybe you had mentioned it, but I didn't think you'd still be doing it with how cold it was.
I was hoping it was going to be canceled because it was so damn cold. But it still happened, and this is what I told myself. I said, if you're really about your paper, then you can go out there, you're going to set up, because you spent a whole day making sure you organized the, the merch you were going to take out there. You made sure that everything, the sizes and everything. So you're going to go out there because you paid Joseph to come help you.
Yeah.
So I just told myself, I'm going to do it.
Always keep in mind, no matter how cold it is, people are gonna love to drink beer.
Yeah, I know. I really didn't think that. So yeah, there was people, from, and shout out to the Hip Hop Vintage Flea Market because they're so good at promoting, and their focus is on community. So this is their community of faithful people who go out and support these local vendors, from food to shopping to resale shopping, because a lot of this is vintage stuff. I'm kind of one of those like sore thumb. I stick out like a sore thumb because my products are new. I'm not selling resell vintage items that you went in, to find.
I didn't even put that together. That's what that was.
Yeah. So a lot of the vendors that are there are like vintage items, and these kids are so into it right now. I mean, there was a shirt there. The guy that was right across from us, they have a whole system because they do them all the time. And so this is what they dedicate. I mean, they set up and break down so easy. It was amazing. All in a little Lexus, like the one I used to drive. Yeah. So, anyway, so there was a guy that asked him, how much is this hoodie? Legit, it was just a hoodie with the check mark here. It was just, I mean, I've seen them probably like at Ross or TJ Maxx. You know what I'm saying? And he goes, that one's going for $150. I was like, well, what's the rarity in it? I really was curious. I just didn't bother to ask. I just wanted to be like, why is it $150? What's $150 about it? You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of the shirts that are going there are okay, so I don't know, Rob, no, you might be too young for this, but did you ever wear the Looney Tunes stuff? Was that ever in style for you guys? No, right?
I believe that it was, but I was probably like 6 or 7. I
Okay,
can't remember
so
that.
you're-
Like the
okay.
classic Looney Tunes circle
Yes.
thing where they come out of it.
Yeah, so a lot of the shirts, and it's funny because I'd get those at Sears and Montgomery Wards. That's where they were selling, but they were popular. Like to have the Bugs Bunny one, the Tasmanian Devil one, the whole crew one, you know what I'm saying? And then they made jerseys out of them.
Didn't they make the Space Jam ones too?
Yeah, the
with
Space
Jordan?
Jams one. Yeah. So all those were super popular when I was younger, and they go bananas for them now. Like they're like searching. I mean, this guy laid out a rug on the bottom, 2 rugs, and he just throws the shirts on there, and people are digging and digging and digging. I mean, it's like old school stuff, like werewolf shirts, like big old wolves back then. You know how they used to, there's even like, I think the Mexican, blankets that are like that with a big wolf face.
Yeah.
So they have t-shirts like that. I mean, it's crazy. Like people are there, Dare t-shirts, you know what I'm saying? So it's like these kids are into it now. And it's funny because I mean, that's stuff that I wore when I was younger.
Things got to come back around because maybe you can expand on this because you love fashion and all this kind of stuff, but like things always come back around. It's inevitable. But
Always.
now there's so little room to be like edgy or daring. Even with the same thing with like, if you talk about like cancel culture with like comedy or music or whatever else or shows, people are so quick to like call you out on stuff for being like not PC enough. I think the same thing with like fashion and style. Like kids, there's like, kids want to go to edgy shit that's gonna like maybe infuriate their parents a little bit or kind of be on, the cool kid at school. But now everything's just so like bland and boring that you have to go back in time a bit.
It's crazy because, Kanye in his interview said, all they do is keep bringing old shit back and they can never make new shit. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? And it's true. A lot of the cool shit was in the 80s, in the 90s. That's when like fashion was dope. Right now, I mean, I don't get a lot of this stuff right now. Like I told Mickey the other day, they're wearing those big old bell-bottom pants.
I saw somebody at Starbucks wearing that. Granted, she was cute, but also like, I said to myself, is this making a comeback?
Yeah, I told Mickey, I said, okay, I'm going to tell you something. I was like, there was a store in the mall called Merry-Go-Round. I said, and Merry-Go-Round sold this brand called Jinkos, which was the first brand of pants that were like really big. They were fitted around the waist. They weren't saggy. I said, but they're huge, this huge bell. I said, and it was even cooler if you opened the slit in the middle, because I would make them, and you could add a patch of whatever other, maybe if you wanted them even bigger, you'd add blue jean, right, to make them even bigger. Or you could add like bandana material in the middle of it. You know what I'm saying? And make them cool. I said, and you wore them with little halter tops like y'all are wearing them right now. I was like, I did all that. It's funny to see it because it's all coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like the joggers. Do you not remember? Like, I mean, a lot of this stuff, like, it's funny, like, it's crazy, it's coming back. I see it, I'm like, man, I wore all that stuff. I was like, I told Pete, I was like, I gotta go get my pictures from my mom's house because I want for Mickey to see that this is like, and I always tell Pete, I was like, I wish Mickey would let me style her. Like, I wish she would let me like dress her, because there's such cute ways to wear a lot of this stuff that's wearing it, but she's not dairy enough. Like, she's not really like, and everybody's different. That's why she likes a little bit more simple things. Like, it needs to match a little bit. It needs to match a little bit, like it needs to match perfectly. While I'm more of like, we need to add pattern, and like, so you would never think to wear pink shoes with that, but pink shoes is what's gonna make it.
Some might call it clashing, but you make it work.
Yeah, you make it work. It's gonna look way better. You know what I'm saying? Just like patterns, a lot of people are afraid to use pattern, and it's because they're not comfortable with it. They like their simple, like, just solid colors, and I get it. That's partially the reason why, if you notice, I rarely have pattern in my stuff, because I think this is one of the few patterns. And what I mean by that is like it's got the tie dye in it, and that's come back.
It is. You and I, we were at, or me and Chingo went to, was it Retro, the coffee place over there on Alabama? It's next to the barber place, right? Is that what it's called? Or Siphon, maybe? One of those two.
Oh, Siphon.
Siphon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And they had apparel that had like a pattern that you really liked, and it's kind of like what you're wearing right now, but not quite. Do you know what I'm talking about?
The T-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So when we were talking about the Alpha Land thing on the last episode, I saw some of the new Buff Bunny collection that she was, showing off or whatever. It was a lot like that pattern and kind of what you're wearing right now. I don't know if you kind of noticed that or where you get your inspiration from, but I found that interesting.
I get my inspiration from, really, to be honest with you, things that this is how I think. Can I wear that? But also, can I wear it to where I can maybe add like a cute jacket to it, and now I don't look like I just left the gym. That's how I make decisions on what gym apparel I'm gonna drop. Does that make sense? So that you don't look like, some stuff looks like you just left the gym, right? Well, I don't always want to look like I just left the gym, because I love wearing gym clothes. I mean, that's what I like to live in. But I want it to be the pattern on it. I want it to be like, oh, those look like pants, but they're really your workout leggings. Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
So that's kind of how I make decisions. Like, oh, look at something, I'm like, if you wore a T-shirt with that, could you still make it look cute? And could you still wear it with the regular top? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's kind of how because I wear gym clothes as regular clothes.
I mean, at this point, I think most people do. Athleisure wear is such a popular item.
It's like, that's kind of how I like to be. And my aunt, I've said this 1,000 times, my aunt was always like that. She used to always dress like that. And she was in her 30s, right? And so I was a little bit, she and I are 7 years apart. So I remember when she was like in her 30s, she'd always wear like, that's when the windbreaker stuff was in. And so I'd be like, why do you always want to look like a mom? I'm like, you're supposed to look cute. I'm like, you can't. She's like, I'm comfortable. She goes, I will remind you of this when you're my age. I'm like, no, I'm never going to do that. I was like, because I don't want to look like I just walked out of the gym. She's like, okay. She was always dressed like, she looked put together. I mean, her hair was in a clip, like, makeup, but she was comfortable in that. And I remember when I started doing it all the time, I texted her and I said, I'm officially you. I am in workout clothes all the time. She goes, I told you. There just comes a point in your time where you just want to be comfortable. Like, you want to look cute. You can put on your face, but you just want to look cute. And that's just uncomfortable. And that's it. And so that was my way. And I'm like, totally. Because that's all I wear now.
It's kind of like a heady thought, but let's just take 15-year-old you or me or anybody listening, and then 30-year-old them. I say only, it's 15 years, but it doesn't, like, now that I'm in my 30s, I'm like, man, I kind of feel like 15 was not that far off, but it's 15 years ago. But like, everything's just, it's such one big cycle. You get to 30 and you're like, oh man, I used to like make fun of, like, you maybe making fun of your aunt, and now you're like, oh, that totally makes sense. Yeah. And you just can't grasp it until you get to that point in your life.
You know what's funny you say that is whenever I was sitting there talking with Penny, because we always kind of chit chat when we're going to bed, right? We'll kind of talk, I'm like, oh, how was your day? And she just talks about, makes up shit, and I'm just like, oh wow,
How many times you say, oh wow?
Let me tell you, what happened yesterday. Really off, crazy topic, but because my mom and I were kind of discussing the Bible, I had left it on the couch. Penny comes to sit down, and when she picked up the Bible to move it, I always keep a picture of my dad and I in my Bible, and it's an old picture. It's from my cousin's wedding or something, but I have it in there, and it falls out, and I said, I'm grabbing it, and I'm like, do you know who that is? I've never shown her a picture of my dad. Okay. Except for when there's a baby picture, but he doesn't look like the same. My dad used to have long hair. Like he used to I guess in the 70s, that was cool. I don't know. And, so I said, do you know who this is? She goes, yeah. I said, who? She goes, Beto. I'm like, no es Beto. I said, mi papá se llama Héctor. Es lo que dije. She's like, that's what I said. And I was like, no, Teto. When she said that, bro, I freaked the fuck out. Look at Pete and I said, ¿Cómo? She goes, Teto. Es Teto, no Beto, Teto. Like, that's what they would call my dad.
Oh, wow.
She's never seen a picture of him. I've never like really talked to her about it. She's little. There's no need to right now. I do want her to know about him when she's older and she understands him, and I want her to see pictures.
Yeah.
And so that's why I think I was saving, like, that moment of explaining who this person was and what he meant to me. Just she was a little bit older, so she could really understand, like, oh, okay, that's what's up, Mom. You know what I'm saying? But bro, we were on and I look at Pete and he looks at me. I'm like, okay, tell me again. Like, I just needed to hear it again. Like, okay, this is not like I'm making it. You kind of want to hear shit sometimes, You're like, say it again. And she's like, ya te dije. Él se llama Teto. I was like, all right, you ain't got to get mad.
That's exactly how she talks to guys.
Yeah. And, ya te dije. And I'm like, bro, I text my mom and my sister. I said, Penny just identified Dad without ever seeing him or anything like that. All right. Rewind when she was younger and Luisa would stay overnight with her when we were out of town. So then like the next mornings when I would call and she'd be like, hey, she had a really bad nightmare. She's like, and she'll say, no Teto, no Teto. And I'm like, what? It's like, that's weird. I said, well, that's my dad. She's like, well, she says Teto. I was like, okay, that's really weird. I don't know about that. She's like, I had never told Luisa my dad's name either. Like, I mean, she knew my dad's name was Hector, but not that they called him Teto. Like, that's like what his brothers and sisters called him at home. So, that was it. Oh, and that was the reason. Why did I say that? Oh, I think the only reason she even knew my dad's name is because I think one time I said if I had a boy, his name would be Hector. Because after my dad. And that's the only reason she would know my dad's name. Because I just don't go around saying my dad's name is, you know. And so she was like, I don't know. She keeps saying Teto. I was like, that's weird. Well, now Jimena has those cries. Like she's scared and sees something. Penny saw that. She would do that a lot when she was younger. She has stopped since then, but Sunny now does them, and they're just these. They'll wake up from her sleep and they'll be just random, like you just had a nightmare, like you got scared about something.
Wow.
So I don't know. They're both just very what is that word?
Intuitive.
Yeah. What's the other one?
In sync.
Not like psychics. There's another word for it, guys. I know the people that are listening to right now, they're saying it in their car. Luisa says, well, Penny might be a medium now. I'm like, no, she's not a medium, Luisa, okay? Yeah. It'll come to me, guys. I can't think of what the word is right now. But basically, it's like they're really good at like energies and, like they feel...
Like an empath?
That's not the word, but kind of, I guess. It's like they can... Like Penny is really good about if she just doesn't vibe with you, she doesn't like you.
You said that early on about her and Joseph versus her and me. Versus her and me.
Yeah, she's really weird. She's interesting. I think she's really little to be able to like. She just knows. Mm-hmm. She'll say "no me gusta." You know what I'm saying? Is that she'll just I don't know why she knows that, but she just kind of does. You know what I'm saying? Like, so Sunny seems to be, but anyway, I thought that was freaky because I thought that would happen yesterday.
Damn.
Now, why did I say that? Because we were on a whole other subject about something else.
Yeah. Oh, I thought you were gonna tie it together.
See, guys, I'm working on it. I promise.
No, that's part of a podcast. All right.
Damn, I can't remember. There was a reason why I brought that up, but anyway.
But well, the Bible, and
the Bible,
she brought it over,
yeah.
and then the
yeah.
picture, and then you told your sister and your mom.
Oh, but fashion. Here we go about fashion. My dad was really into fashion.
Into it, as in I remember
like,
you saying he didn't like you going out looking sloppy.
He didn't. But my dad's, my grandfather's brothers, the majority of them are seamsters, are tailors, and so my aunt used to make wedding dresses, and his brothers are tailors, right? And they make men's suits. I have an uncle that lives here. That's all he does is make men's suits and stuff like that. So my grandparents were poor, but it was cheaper to buy fabric to get suits and clothes made. So my dad used to, he was like, I was always like invited to be part of quinceañeras. So my mom would buy me like, all this fabric, and my uncles would make like all these pants. He's like, so I looked fly. Like I had all this money, but technically he was like, we're poor. It was just cheaper for my mom to buy fabric, and my uncles would make us the clothes. So he's always liked it. Like he loved buying his suits for church, and like, oh, this is my like, he knew like what his pattern was and which his shoe was going to be. And like I said, he liked for us to be dressed up and look nice. He didn't like for us to leave the house looking like, so maybe that's where a lot of this little like liking fashion and clothes and shoes comes from, is from that. It's because he didn't like for us to, I told you, he'd always be like, the mini skirts, y'all need to rock them right now, because I don't want y'all to look like these ridiculous older women trying to rock mini skirts, and they're all old, looking ridiculous with saggy skin. I'd be like, damn, Dad, tell us how you really feel.
Yeah, I don't want you being Madonna going on the Late Show at 60 years old with a mini skirt showing your flat ass.
Did she get her booty done? Because it looks awful.
I don't know. I mean,
because I don't remember her having that. She posted a picture
that's
like
called
on her
Father
Instagram,
Time.
like on Instagram, where it looks like you can tell it's a fake butt. I don't know. And I love Madonna. Like I got to see her in the concert at Madison Square Garden in New York. Yeah.
Dude, I know like 2 Madonna songs. That's it.
Rob!
That's it, man.
Guys, please tell me Rob did not just say that about Madonna. Please tell me he didn't just say that about Madonna.
Come on.
What?
Yeah, I don't know.
Rob,
shit.
it's Madonna.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Madonna.
I don't get it.
I even considered that name for Penelope.
I'm sure glad you didn't go with it.
I really wanted Madonna Penelope.
I don't get it. I never got it.
I love Madonna. Like I think she's iconic to me. Her, Janet Jackson, those were my people.
I can see why they're iconic for the time periods that they were doing what they were doing, but I still don't get the whole allure 25 years later.
I think she needs to stop. She could be done with.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think she can exit now. I'm not saying off the
exit.
earth.
God
I'm just saying
damn.
like she just doesn't need to anymore. She's Madonna. It's like Mariah Carey.
I was gonna say Mariah
doesn't
Carey.
need to. Mariah is Mariah.
Yeah,
I
I wouldn't compare Mariah and Madonna though. Like to me, Mariah's on another. She's on another stratosphere.
Mariah's very classy. She's a little bit different. But what I mean is like about them being like iconic. It's like when you're that iconic, you don't have to try anymore. Those people for me are like Whitney Houston, Madonna, Janet Jackson. Mariah Carey for me is in that category as well. I'm talking about like the older generation of women who just did their damn thing, and they don't need, like right now, they don't need to try to do anything. Like I don't understand why. Like
Jingo and I were kind of talking about this on one of the recent episodes, but like music, like you and I were talking about fashion and how it comes back, and how, just the new stuff is boo-boo. Yeah. The same thing kind of applies to music. But
I agree.
Are we just getting to the point where we're the old fuddy-duddies now that are saying the same shit our parents said?
Can I just get one enunciation of a word?
Yeah.
One. I'm okay. Like if you want the rest of your jam to be, I don't even know what none of the words are.
And Chingo had me pull up a bunch of Nas and Jay-Z beef back in the day, and I'm like, that's just totally different from the shit you hear nowadays.
Totally. It's like I don't know. I just those are like, that's music to me. I'm still a Migos fan, even though Migos, you still can't understand what they say sometimes. But I'm a
their
Migos
beats be
fan.
good.
Yeah, I'm a Migos fans. There's some people liking. I'll vibe with, like, I'm into Drake, but Drake, you can understand what he's saying.
Of course.
Kanye, you can understand what he's saying. They're still like,
But they're from that era though. They're not new.
no. Drake is not.
I don't mean
Drake,
like Nas and Jay-Z,
Drake,
but you know what I'm saying.
like Drake is super new because he's a younger little boy.
What's super new? He's been out 20 years almost.
Yeah, but he was like a little Disney kid. Did you
Yeah,
not know
in
that?
the early 2000s.
Yeah,
Did you watch
exactly.
Degrassi?
I never
Okay,
watched
then.
it.
You tell me
Thank
like I don't
you.
know what Degrassi is. Little Canadian actor.
Yeah, exactly. In his little wheelchair.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? A lot of people didn't accept him as a rapper at the beginning
No, they didn't.
because of that, you know? Yeah, I'm big into music though, but it's a lot of the newer stuff I just can't get into. Like people say Little Pump. I have no idea what Little Pump sings or what he looks like.
Yeah.
I don't know what Da Baby looks like, and I don't know what Da Baby, and I think there's another baby.
Yeah, there's a couple babies.
There's a baby and a Da Baby and something.
Little baby.
Oh, Little Baby and
Yeah.
Da Baby.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know who they are. I have no idea what they look like at all. That's 3 people. What's another one? I mean, a lot of these young people, I don't know who they look like. I didn't know who that other little boy was for the longest. The one who's always controversial. The one that
Lil Nas X.
Little Nas X. I didn't know who he was until all the controversy he created.
How did he get that far with the name Lil Nas? You know, how did Nas let that slide?
I don't know. But I can't get into it. I try, but you know what I do dig a lot is like a lot of the, it's crazy because what's that Mexican music right now that they're doing? It's called like, kind of like the 69, Jenny 69, where it's,
The corrido type?
the corrido tumbao, right?
Yeah.
That's what it's called. At first I was like, this is so silly, right?
Silent 69.
Well, that's a different one. I'm more of a supporter of her, not because of her singing. Okay, I'm just gonna be real. You know, I'm more of a like, I'm gonna pack my bags and I'm gonna break through.
Yeah.
Right there.
Sure.
So that's what's impressive to me about her. Her singing is not impressive. I can totally have made that song myself.
We should do it.
And I might have just hit the note a little bit better, but
We should do it.
it'd be funny, right?
We should do a parody of that.
Sola 713.
No, what's your date of birth? 86?
81.
81. 81. Okay. So
Ooh, I wish I was 86, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, sorry. You know, you look so young sometimes.
Yeah, I wish I was 86.
Glowing in your fresh unit.
This is actually from last year
Oh.
or year before. No, last year because Ilse took the pictures of this outfit. Yeah, so like that corridos tumbados. At first, when I first heard it, I was like, ridiculous. Y'all are so ridiculous. Why would? And then it was like I heard these little boys, and I was like, oh shit, this shit's kind of jamming. Like it's kind of okay. It's not that bad, you know. And I was digging it, you know. And I was like, okay, so like that's the newer stuff that I'm like, oh, I can get with, you know. Even reggaeton's kind of changed a little bit, you know, but
It's funny you bring up reggaeton. Somebody in the Discord this morning randomly posted the Mas Maiz music video. And I was like, what a classic. And they were just like, look how we used to dress. Look what we were all into. But then they were like, the common thing was that like all the different kinds of people that we came together to make a collab.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure.
Classic.
Yeah, that's a jam too. But yeah, I like the reggaeton stuff. It's changed so much too now because now there's even what's the Dominican version of it? It's called the
I don't know, but Chingo always talks about El Alfa and people like that.
That's what I'm talking about. El
Okay.
Alfa. That's his. I'm a El Alfa fan.
Are you?
Mm-hmm.
It's so funny. I don't make fun of him, but I give him shit about it. And he's just like, what? I know you don't like that kind of music or whatever.
He jams, bro. Like he's a jams to me. Yeah. I mean, it's like a lot of that stuff is newer because it wasn't around when we were young.
No.
But it jams, you know, like, and you know what's funny is I love like dance hall music, like, you know, Caribbean music. Like I love all that. And it's really cool to see that now it's cool to hear. Does that make sense? Like now they've made it cool to hear.
They've made it pop.
Yeah. And I'm going to talk to them real quick while I find this song that it became famous because of TikTok. And this guy's he's a new guy, but his songs jam. Watch, go ahead.
Tell us in the Facebook group, patrons, or in the Patreon, anywhere when we post this episode, what your favorite type of music is. Have you been able to adapt to the new music, or are you stuck in your like generation's era's kind of music? Because I know for me, there's certain things that are always going to be staples, like I'm sure you have as well. But then you get into this stuff like the corridos, the new type of corridos, or the new kind of what is this called again? What's like El Alfa considered?
It's I can't think of what it's
Dembow,
called.
right?
Dembow. There you go. Yes.
Yeah. So that kind of, it's just like it hasn't seeped in yet. The way that you said some of the corridos at first were like, and then you're like, oh, I like it. It hadn't happened yet.
Yeah. Oh, see, this is the song. Watch it. Everybody was using it on TikTok, on Reels.
Oh, I remember this.
So he's new. He's Nigerian. He's new. He's dope. But what I'm saying is
the breakdown of that's a good.
Yeah, I
part.
love the song. But what I'm saying is people back then were not jamming a lot of this stuff. It was more of the Sister Nancy, who was a lot more well known because she was kind of. Do you know who Sister Nancy is? No. Oh man.
Sister Nancy.
Come on, man.
Is she a nun?
No.
Is she from the church?
Come
of
on.
Saint Latter Day Saints.
Bro, when you hear the song, you might remember. Okay, Marissa's probably like, yes, you have to know who Sister Nancy is.
Marissa, you go back to drinking pee.
Listen. No, Rob, not even a little bit.
I would have changed it already if this was on the radio.
This is you heard this, and this is over.
Over, yeah.
Over.
As in, I turned it off. Yeah.
This is the jam. You don't ever remember hearing this song?
No.
Look.
It's got some Sublime
Here we
vibes
go,
to
here
it.
we go.
See, and I said it's got some Sublime vibes, and that's definitely a sample from a Sublime song. Or Sublime, or either way, vice
Sublime
versa.
copied
Probably,
her.
yeah.
She's
Yeah.
way out.
You know what I'm saying?
Before, so like for me, that's Sister Nancy's jamming. But these are like old school reggae dance hall people who were a little bit more. Same thing with Sean Paul. Sean Paul became too poppy for me, right? Because obviously he went to mainstream. He like, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't knock him for it. You know what I'm saying? But
paper.
if you hear his stuff from when he was underground, right, to right now, there's a huge difference. It's a lot more dancey right now. Back then, it was like legit dance hall where I have no idea what he was saying, but the fucking shit was jamming.
It just made you want to move.
It was kind of like you're riding in the car and you're jamming.
You're the one that I drive by and you're just like going crazy in your car.
I'm like in the car, probably like, and it's funny because Sean Paul's even look, it's so different from whenever how I had heard about him at the very long time ago. This is before the "I'm Still in Love with You" song. Even before that, before they "Give Me the Light." Do you remember that song?
Give me the light.
Okay,
Yeah.
even before that, he had other shit that was just popping. And how I heard about him was, my cousin used to date this guy, and he was and he used to do the braids, and I was like, I was in love with him. He's still like, asked Pete, so how does myself feel about Sean Paul? Yeah.
Okay.
I love me some Sean
Simmer
Paul.
down.
When he started following me on fucking Twitter, it was it. I was like, what? I don't even tweet, but I tweeted a song that he had just dropped, and I was like, if you're not listening to this, you don't know real music. And it was like, what? He retweeted this? I was like, ah!
I'm going to be an extra in a music video.
Exactly. But anyway, when I first heard about him, check this out. It was a white guy who like had dreads, and he jammed a lot of like this dance hall music, right? And he was all about all this shit. And I was just like, and I remember I met him and we were like hanging out with him and he was playing this. I was like, what is this? Who is this? He's like, oh, it's Sean Paul. He's this cat that's just coming out. And I'm just like, bro. I mean, and it's totally different from what he was before, because you're not going to hear any of this. Watch. Hold on. No, no, this is new. This is the newer stuff.
No, this
No.
isn't it. No, cut it off.
This is like this was when he finally got, this was in 2000, and this is when he finally probably got like his first kind of like real album on, like, I guess maybe people.
The internet?
Yeah. But look at this.
Yo, Patsy check 1,
So
2.
I'm going to show you the difference,
Check.
okay?
Whoa, this is Tony Mental Ill, Tony Matter, and I'm going to say Sean Paul, the brand new youth for the business. The man that done the place. Hey, so
All
right
right.
now, I'll feature for the item. Brand
Original Sean Paul.
Okay.
Okay. Let's go to Sean Paul.
I also would have turned that off in 2000.
What?
I was 11.
I'm going to cry right now. Let's go to 2002 was good too.
When's the last time he put something out?
He put something out just 2 years ago, and this is the latest one, and I'll let you hear it. It's jamming. Look at the difference.
Your eyes, they all over me. Don't be shy. Take control
I
of
mean,
me.
this is cool.
Get the vibe. It's gonna be lit.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is
baby girl, you give me 10 ton of fatness. Give me some of that.
That's Sean Paul.
With
Yeah.
the badness.
okay. So you see how much? Do you see the difference?
Absolutely. One
You
sounds
see,
good, one doesn't.
No, one, he became more like mainstream, which I still dig him.
Yeah.
Like if you still like, if you said, I'm getting you Sean Paul tickets, like fucking what? Like I'm there, you know? He came and performed at the Zumba convention. And I was so offended that no one knew like who Sean Paul was.
What?
Because he was doing some of his older jams. And I was like, how the fuck do these bitches not know who the hell Sean Paul is? Do y'all not know like who Sean Paul is? Like I was like, when the artist, because Zumba conventions, like those go hard. Like I would only go there for the concerts. Like they had Pitbull there.
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, exactly. Like they would go even Pitbull back in the days. He's went a whole. You ever hear Pitbull from back in the days?
I do remember, yeah, Pitbull.
Like he was even doing a little bit more of. He really rapped.
Yeah.
He didn't do this like more
What he's doing
poppy
now,
now.
yeah.
Which get your paper, however you gonna get
Of
it.
course.
That's why I'm like. That's why I wasn't mad at Sean Paul when he went from like real roots dance hall to to this newer version of it, like the I'm Still in Love with You song. I'm jamming it, all those songs I'm for. But yeah, I think music has changed a lot, even from like the Beatles to like what boy group now?
What is it? BBS or BTS? That Korean K-pop
boy,
band?
Yeah, I don't know.
Are you about that
Those-
life?
Yeah.
You about the Korean?
I am not. Because I was like, what are you doing, little boys? Like, who likes them? And I just thought it was like, did they really plan? Like, did people come out? Wait, are y'all really fans, or did they pay these people to be out here waiting for you guys? And when I saw that these are real fans for these little boys,
There's no bigger artist in the world. Madonna who? Madonna who? Whitney
I
Houston
can't.
who? Janet Jackson who?
Yeah, that's just
Don't
not.
hold a candle to BTS.
Oh my God.
All right?
Oh my God.
You better show some respect
I
to
was
these little
never
boys.
really, to be honest with you, I was never like a boy band fan. I think my ideal boy bands to me are going to be like
Boys to Men.
Boys to Men. It's gonna be oh my God, the one that Whitney Houston's Bobby Brown was in. Why can I think who they were? Like Mint Condition. Why can I think of what the group
I don't have no
Bobby
idea.
Brown was in? Oh my God.
So you weren't like a Backstreet Boys and Sync kind of girl?
My friends were. That was my high school. I know the songs, but I can't say I was like,
Tell me why.
I can't say that I was. I don't know. A lot of people were. I'm
98
sure.
degrees. Little Nicholas J
Yeah,
action in there.
no, I can't even. I don't even.
That's how you know we grew up in different neighborhoods.
Yo, what is Bobby Brown's? What is that group he was in?
I don't know why I just want to keep saying Bone Thugs.
Oh yeah, Bone Thugs was jamming too, though. Come on now. They were hardcore too. Yeah, I mean, you see what I'm saying? That's like some real music right there. All that stuff is real music. So for me,
So what you're saying is today there's not real music. You know, what's
to
with this
me right
Billie
now,
Eilish world?
yeah, Billie Eilish, she jams, but she's not like my. I mean, I'm not gonna go to her concert. You know,
Are you gonna go to an Adele concert maybe?
Adele's jamming too. Am I buying them or someone's giving me the
No, you're
tickets?
buying them.
No, I'm not buying them. But if somebody gives me the tickets, yes.
T Swift?
Fuck no.
Whoa, that was aggressive. What you got against T Swift?
Stop telling your business, little girl. Just stop telling your business. Stop telling us who you broke up with all the time and how he did this and how some of that shit.
Keep John Mayer's name out of your mouth.
You know, just I find it so silly. Like, I just don't like. I don't care for her.
Ariana Grande?
She's cute. I just like that she's cute.
Indeed.
She's cute, and she's also one of those that are like, I'm coming in, and you're gonna know who I am, and I can respect that. My favorite song of hers is that "Thank You Next."
Yeah, there was I forgot the album that song's on. I think Don and I jammed that bitch for like a year straight.
Oh my god!
I don't know why.
Okay,
it had a lot of good songs.
Let me take you even back. What about Nelly Furtado?
I'm like a bird.
That was okay. That was my album that I drive to every morning on the way to college when I was going to U of H.
Why?
I have no idea that whole not the like a bird song because it was like too overdone. It's the other songs on there.
I don't think I know another
See?
song.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Most people don't ever know the other songs on the album because no one ever jams the whole album.
No one jammed the B-side.
You know want to know why? Because back then you had to buy the whole album to hear it.
Oh,
versus
right.
now you can just download one song.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? And that's it. You don't have to buy the whole thing. You know, back then it was like you bought the CD. That means you're going to hear the entire album and you're going to end up probably liking a lot of the songs that are not being played on the radio.
Do you ever like do y'all just play music in the house randomly when y'all are doing something?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, cleaning or activities? What's your go-to? If you're in charge of music and y'all are, let's say, having like a game night or y'all are cleaning or whatever, prepping to go out of town and y'all play music, what are you playing?
It's probably going, if we're like getting ready to go to the shows, it's usually like my ghetto crunk music. If we're in the house, it's usually like more old school stuff. I'm doing like some Janet Jackson. I'm doing some Mary J. Blige. Mary J. Blige is on my top 5.
I forgot about Mary J. Blige.
Yeah, that's my dog. I'm doing more of that. I don't know of anybody that I jam right now that I'm like, sometimes I'll be like, because you remember we had this whole discussion about you not knowing who Erykah Badu was.
Oh, right.
So sometimes I'll do Erykah Badu. Sometimes it'll be dance hall. A lot of times it'll be dance hall. A lot of stuff also will be, I love international music. So that's the thing.
Really?
I love it. You have no idea. Like you have to really sit. I'm instrument person. That's why too. I love if the instruments in there, like if there's the drums are my favorite.
For those of you that don't know, Marisol wish she would have been Travis Barker when she was a kid. She wanted to be a little drummer girl.
I wish if I could play like Travis Barker now. I only follow him because of how he plays.
Oh, yeah.
That's the only reason why I follow him. And when I found out
he's dating a Kardashian,
I was like, oh my God, do not lose your creativity, please. Like, you know, but strings are also too, like if there's a violin involved in there, this is really interesting, right? But there's this thing called Hidden Beach. All right.
Hidden or hidden?
Hidden.
Hidden Beach. Okay.
I know. Here we go. This is why Siri doesn't understand me, guys. All right.
Well, earlier when you said wolf, I was like, woof. You were saying wolf.
Wolf. Yeah.
I thought you were saying wolf like a dog wolf.
No, wolf. A wolf. See, I don't know. Sorry. Yeah, I know. Like, I don't know what I said the other day, and Mickey and Pete were making fun of me. They're like, wow. There was like, that was you know how they say New Yorkers, their accent comes out when they're mad? Pete's like, when you're like excited about something, he's like, your twang really comes out. I'm like, man, I don't know. I can't hear it. But
so hidden.
There's this thing called Hidden Beach, right? And it's hip hop songs, all instrumental, but you'll hear every like instrument in there. You can hear it's like kind of jazzy, but you'll hear the saxophone, you'll hear the violin, the guitar, the drums, and the fact that that's really how music is made versus now it's all on this little machine and you just make a beat like that. I'm kind of biased because I lived through both, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So I love the fact that music now can be made with this little machine. I think that's fucking cool as fuck, right? But when you can make a beat with literally like live instruments, there's nothing like it. I'm not just saying this because this is my husband, but he performed one time at a concert of this festival, and he had a live drummer and a live DJ. Everybody else was coming up there with their tape and giving it to them, and that's what they were playing the music. Bro, he fucking killed it because he had the live.
Do you have that recorded?
Yeah, we do.
Where is it?
Hold on. I think the drummer made the video. Hold on.
We need to get that. That's gonna be on the chingabling.com exclusive members area.
It's dope. Hold on. I wonder if they still have it on there.
Which, speaking of, while Mighty Soul is doing that, guys, let us know also. We want to maybe create another members area for you guys where we can chat. So we're thinking about adding like an exclusive chat server, which will probably be through a Discord. If you're not familiar with Discord, I suggest downloading the app Discord, and then or also getting the web based browser. It's not a browser, but it's just like a web extension that you can put on your desktop if you work remotely and you're on your desktop or your laptop all the time. And then something on MarisolHerrera.com where she can put exclusive content there as well. Because the Patreon is great for posts, pictures, the podcast primarily. Like to get audio out to you guys, Patreon offers some of the best tech to get that on your favorite podcast app. That's how you can get it on iTunes or wherever else you listen from your phone. You can't really do that on your websites unless you really want to invest a lot of tech and money into getting that figured out. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. If we offer something else, it's because we want to find other ways to build a community outside of Facebook. Because a lot of people, the main thing is, and I'll wrap it up with this, is that if you're on Facebook, you're not really just going there for the HERR Lounge group. Maybe you've got other groups, or maybe you're just checking your timeline, or you're just getting lost in it, or you forget because you get drowned in notifications on Facebook. But if you have something that you're going to just for the HERR Lounge podcast, you're more likely to keep up with the community and build a community with everybody else.
And this DJ that I'm telling you about that performed with Pete is pretty dope. And it was his best buddy who he would go on stage with, and they were a duo. So it was the drummer / DJ duo type thing. And it was just dope. And I'm trying to find the video on their Instagram. Oh, here it is. Look.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah.
Bro, I mean,
I need to see that live performance.
I mean, it was. Oh, here's another one. Look. You hear the drums?
Oh yeah.
That's the drums live.
Very cool.
He was fucking just killing it. I mean, I like that day for me was like a tad bit nostalgia because this is my husband who I was a fan of before he became my husband. But he was playing a lot of the old school songs live, like with a DJ and a drummer. It was the fucking coolest thing ever. I mean, he killed it over all the people that were there. It was like he shut it down. And I'm not just saying that, but that if I showed you the other people that were there, everybody was just like, and then also Pete didn't have any like backup dancers on there, and all the other guys did, and they were all kind of like, stripper like girls on stage, right? And
a lot of Cardi characters.
And it was funny because they had hired these girls who I guess would be dancing for all the entertainers that would go up there. And when Pete saw them go up because they were going to perform at the like on the side while Pete was singing, he was like, what's that about? And I was like, oh, I don't know. I think they're going to dance, right? And while you sing, he's like, no, man, I don't want a bunch of fucking ass like on the stage while I'm up there performing. And I just paid for a drummer and like, a DJ to be on here. Like we're finna do this shit live. So it was crazy for me to go say, hey, so we would like not for the booty girls to be on our stage. You know what I'm saying? It was just kind of weird. And I guess everybody thought that it was me who didn't want the girls on it. I was like, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a rat's ass. We still getting paid at the end of the night.
right.
Whether these girls go on there or not go on there, so I can care less. Who's got my paper? That's what I want to know.
That's why it's hard going to hip hop concerts that don't incorporate any kind of live instruments.
Yeah, but that was real dope because he did it, and I guess he felt like, wait a minute, I'm bringing a drummer and I'm bringing a live DJ. No, like I need for them. This is what we paid flights, we paid equipment, we paid everything. Like, no, I need y'all to pay attention. And man, when Frank, I'm sorry, what's his name? Not Frank is the DJ. I forget the other guy's name. He does some videos for Pete too. He's the one that did the video in El Paso.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So shout outs to him. Why can I remember his name? I feel really bad right now.
Have you had?
I have not. I know his name, and this is why I'm getting so mad about it right now. Dot Video Design is his account, and I can't remember what his real name is, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, when it was just really dope because he's real creative, and then they gave him a solo on the drums, bro. And when they gave him that solo on the drums, I think he was feeling himself too, because there were so many people and they were hyped because they had already hyped it up, and because Pete was also playing other stuff. Like, look at the wrist, look at the, what is it called? Look at the flip on the wrist.
Damn, I forgot.
What is the name of that song? Wait, it's just that, right?
Is it?
The flip of the wrist, isn't it?
That sounds about right.
Okay, whatever it is. Sorry, guys. I just like the song.
Pobrecito got a brace. He got a fucking thing brace on his wrist.
There you go. That's the kind of songs that are being made now, right? So, yeah. Stir Fry. I mean,
Stir Fry.
Migos.
Those
are still my dogs, though, you know?
That album had like Slippery and all those songs on it. That was a really good album.
Yeah.
What Bad and Bougie, I guess, was on that one too.
Bad and Bougie is dope too. But yeah, so it was really dope. So for me, I love instruments, and so I really like to be able to hear that. So I guess that's why for me right now with the newer music, I'm a little bit more like, well, you just made that. Although making beats is hard. It's not easy, you know? But like the way Kanye would do some shit with some live, like that to me is hard, you know? All of that stuff. So I think that's why I think that's why I'm biased. Is because I grew up in an era where you still used live instruments to record versus, you know.
Totally. You can see why a lot of the classic, let's just say classic rock or classic like music connoisseurs hate the shit that's out nowadays. It's like nothing like where you had to go into the studio. Let's just say, like you mentioned the Beatles earlier. They would go in, you'd have your instruments, you'd get one take. You'd have to do it all in sync and unison at one time. Otherwise, you were fucked to have to do it all over again. Yep. There was none of this like press stop, do that over, rewind that, mix that differently. Totally different.
Isn't it cool?
Yeah,
it's really cool.
I super
to see
appreciate that kind of stuff.
Same here. I'm big on like, and that's why I guess I love like international music. That's why I love like Indian music, Punjabi music, bro. I have some Punjabi shit on my fucking phone that you will be like, what?
I had one friend that liked that in high school as well, and he was a huge, big, just fucking corn-fed cowboy kind of guy, but he loved that music, and he'd pull up to school in his fucking F-250 1995 diesel, all four windows down.
Can't. No way.
With the fucking just rolling coal and shit. I'm like, this is such a weird thing.
I love it. I love Punjabi. I love their beats too. I love the history of Punjabi. It's just really cool because women were not allowed to like compete in Punjabi, like dancing. It was used to be just men, and then like now they allow women to come in. Women go hard on that. There's Punjabi competitions, bro, dancing competitions. They go hard. Hearing the dole beat, just hitting it. It's on some other shit.
Yeah, this white boy had some huge subs in the back of his truck too, so that whole fucking
God,
thing is just shaking. Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, this is intense.
Yeah, I'm Punjabi. I love me some Indian music. I love it was funny because when I used to teach Zumba, I'd have Indian music in my routines. And so I had like these ladies in my class and I had no idea what it said, right? I just listened to the beat. So it was like, we're doing this shit because this is what I like the beat. And I remember one day she came up to me and she was like, hey, so like, do you have Indian in your family or what? I was like, no. She goes, well, how'd you find this music? I was like, oh, I don't know. I was like, I'm just really into like world music. I said, so sometimes I'll just go on like YouTube or like iTunes and I just will just like go down this rabbit hole. I said, now I'll just like find some shit. And she's like, word. And she's like, he's a really big artist. And I was like, I have no idea who you're talking about. And she's like, no, this guy that you're playing. I said, oh, word. I was like, by the way, does it say any bad words? She goes, no, our music never says bad words. Like, they're not allowed. It's like, she's like, so no matter what song you pick, because I was always worried. Like, I don't know what it says. What if it says something offensive? And I'm just going based on the beat because I legit don't know the words, you know? So I'd ask her, I'm like, do you know the words to this? Ask Annette, who is in our competition, and she can tell you, like, my
Huge supporter
Zumba,
of the podcast.
huge, she'll tell you herself. When we'd have Zumba class, my music was always like all over the place. It was never like just one. It was just, I just really love music, and so for me, ever since podcasts were created and just music got crappier, I just keep going back to the old stuff that I have. I don't think I've added anything new either. Like, have you ever heard of Kizomba?
No.
Yeah, so Kizomba is also pretty fucking dope because it's almost like Lambada. Do you remember that show? La Lambada, the song? It was like dun, 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 dun,
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so this is a mix of like, which is weird though, because a lot of Brazilians say like, nah, I don't know about that. So I don't know which part of Brazil or whatever this is, but this is Kizomba, and it's danced like super sexual, and so it's like a male and a female, literally. So your leg will be in between the female. Look up Kizomba, guys, if you ever have a chance on YouTube. Kizomba, Kizomba, and the music. Like, I used to go to this guy's class, right? And because I'm always trying to like brush up on salsa, merengue, whatever was out. And so there's this guy named Christian who's always got classes, and he I had heard about Kizomba. I was like, what is that? Like, I've never heard about this. Like, where is it? Somebody try to recreate Zumba? Like, really didn't know what it was. And so when I heard about it, I looked it up. Well, he was the only guy in Houston teaching it at the time. And it was like, okay, I'm going to go check this out, but it's kind of awkward because you're dancing with the guy you don't know. You're trying to learn because you don't know anybody that's in the class. Right. And you're pretty much together, and his leg is here and your leg is here. And it's about movement together. So basically it's like a lot of like sexual feelings, but it's like so much love in it. It's really a dance made for somebody that you either like love, or B, you're just a dancer and you just enjoy making a performance, and people are going to think that y'all are in love, but you're not. But the fucking music is jamming too. Like, it goes hard. And so that's like, sometimes I'll put that in the car and Penny will be like jamming it because she just has no clue, like, oh, that shit goes hard too. So
She'll dance to anything.
So I think Penny is going to be pretty much like, kind of well-rounded when it comes to music, just because of that whole, me liking so many different types of music. And I love foreign music. I have a whole album called Foreign Music. Yeah. From where it's just like people from, you know what I'm saying? Like everywhere. I'm trying to find you the Kizomba music so that you can be like, what? Then you can go look it up, and then you can practice the dance with Don, and then and then
we're back to the serums.
What happens after that, I don't know. I will not be responsible for that. So this is like a little bit of it. So he's a popular guy, like a singer.
Oh yeah, it sounds like you're about to make a baby.
The dancing is like you about to make a baby on the dance floor, right there for everybody to see. So
go for it. Oh, this is playing when you're on an island, you're dancing in the sand, you're about to get in trouble.
And you just like jam the shit out. I mean, how do you not jam this? So we'll be in the car and now we'll jam some shit like that. It just, my playlists, no joke, are so old because I have nothing like
to replace it with.
Nothing to replace it with. Like, I have my faves, and if I tell you what my faves are, you're gonna be like, shut up. I have Kanye, Father Stretch My Hand, which is from the old album, from the Pablo album, right? Travis Scott, But Pick Up the Phone, which is an old song too. All the Way Up, Fat Joe. I mean, how old is that song? Let me see what might be the newest song on here.
the newest song is a real Slim Shady.
Gosh, guys, this is really sad, but I don't think I have anything that's really new.
There's no genre in music in where I've started listening to new artists except for country. That's the only one.
Okay, maybe some Rosalia is new.
Okay.
With J Balvin.
Mm-hmm.
That one's new. Bad Bunny is new. Flip Dinero, which that's the only song I like about him from him.
I don't even know that song.
Leave me alone.
I don't even know that song.
No, that's the only. This is a whole music episode, guys. In case y'all haven't figured that shit out.
The second half of it was all music.
I mean, literally, like I don't know.
See, this is where the
this one's a newer one. And that's not that new. It's old.
I don't know that song.
No? That might be a newer song.
See,
let me find out.
This is where the Discord will come in handy too, because we'll create different chat channels in the server, like music. Share your music with us. You know, well, we have for instance, in the RBT one, we have the general chat where we talk about politics. We have the Puro Gains channel, which is all about fitness. We have the gaming channel. We're gonna have a Second Amendment channel. We're gonna have a music channel. So we'll have these kind of things also available to you guys, so we can build communities with different interests.
Yes, when someone says, "Will you post your workout video, your workout playlist?" I'm like, okay, I will, but half you guys will probably be like, "This is old." Yeah, no, like.
That's when you put it in that context, you're like, man, I am stuck in an era that I can't get out of. But with good reason, honestly.
I mean, I have Migos music on here, but it's older Migos. Like, it's not like, you know, so a lot of my stuff, like I have Future. I love Future. You know, like there's people on here that like, you know what I'm saying, that are newer, but they're older songs. Like I can't, like there's nothing new. I guess maybe because they haven't dropped anything either. Maybe that's another reason why. But like,
you don't have any 6ix9ine on there?
I do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Tekashi?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's only one. This is right when I'm about to go hard on the workout.
Boom. I love that song.
That's the only one I have.
He's got some, I mean, you know, all things considered, some bangers when it comes to like instrumental and beats.
Yeah.
It gets down.
I also will listen to some Rob Bailey right as I'm about to go into the gym. That's probably another one, but he's not on my workout mix, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like I'm on my way to the gym. Let me put on this Rob Bailey song and it's going to get my mind right. Yeah, but it's not like another, like, you know.
I don't know how many of the ladies are going to jam Rob Bailey, but if you are, good for you. You're definitely in the different tier.
And, you know, then you'll have like your jogging music. There's, you know, I think we all have that too. Do you have jogging music?
Yeah,
you don't like to jog,
when I jogged 10 years ago, yeah. Jogging.
That's about it. Like El Dusty, which is Pete's friend.
Yeah.
Bro, he's got some jams on there that.
His
well, you know what's funny?
Ones,
They're
great.
I love them. Funny thing is, before I met Pete, I had one of Dusty's song in my Zumba mix, and then we were somewhere. Oh, I think we were at one of the Peligrosa like parties or something, and he said, blah blah blah. I was like, oh man, I fucking love this song. I was like, oh, that's my friend. I was like, that's your friend? I was like, what are the odds? I was like, that's my song. I have it on my Zumba mix right now. The ladies, we dance to it. He's like, no way. I was like, how funny. And then when I met him, I was like, I have the funniest story tonight. I told him about it. I was like, your song was on my Zumba mix for the ladies to dance to, and I never even knew you or none of it. It was the crazy, but yeah, I probably should update my songs at some point, but I'm gonna stick to probably the same stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Because even a lot of the rock stuff, like I still am stuck on the old Red Hot Chili Pepper stuff.
Yeah,
I will still stick to that. I will still stick to like just older. That's who I vibe with. It's weird.
Same.
You know, like I still don't feel like this era is. So 2022. Let's go find that artist.
Yeah, let's find that breakthrough artist.
Anyway, guys, this was I don't know what kind of episode, but hopefully you enjoyed all the music while you're sitting here like, I thought we were going to talk about a breakthrough through music.
There you go.
That's what it was. Here we go.
Music does put you on another.
It does.
Plane.
It does moods, does
Yep.
it not? Moods for having sex. It's for moods for jogging. It's mood for
motivation, focus,
cooking, cleaning the house. Music does a lot to the soul.
Boom.
It really does.
What a way to tie it together.
Thank you. It does a lot for the soul. It does a lot for my soul. Music is really big in my life. Yours?
Totally.
Yeah. I couldn't live without it. You know what's funny? When I'm going to end with this, it's about to be 3. And I need office hours. My ex-business partner, who is deaf, I never forget. She said, why do hearing people love music so much? What's the big deal? And I just felt like this huge offense. Like, what do you mean? What's the big, like, I just kind of felt like, yeah, I'm like, wait a minute. Like, how dare you say that? Like, what's the big deal? Why do hearing people can't be without music? What's that all about? I'm like, okay, but wait a minute. You've never heard music, so you have no idea.
Then you start insulting her.
No. And it was like, I told her, I said, I don't know about every hearing person. I said, but for me, as a hearing person, music is a vibe to me. It's sometimes how I feel. It can make you, if you're having a shitty day, if you hear a cool, like a fun song, it'll put you in a different mood. Like, like for me, that's how I was. Like, just like going to the gym, right? Mm-hmm. You have your songs that are going to make you like get focused. This is what I'm going to do today. And I'm going to jam this shit. Pete has the same few songs that he plays every morning, which are like, some of them are from Kanye's Sunday morning like album, and some are other Christian songs, and that's what he likes to listen to when he gets up in the morning. That's what the first thing that's playing is that, right? So that's what I mean. I said to hearing people, I think that's what it does. It makes you feel some certain kind of way, and it can make you go back in time. Right? Depending on like, oh my God, when you hear that song, oh my God, I remember that song. We used to always blah, blah, blah. Is that not true? Mm-hmm. Or like, I can't fucking stand that song. My ex used to like it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, come on. That's what music is like for us. So I told her, I was like, I don't know how else to explain it except telling you that it's like a vibe for hearing people. It's like a mood. It's like a whole mood. And I'm like, and
she just looked at you like,
yeah.
Okay.
And she still didn't get it. I was like, I don't know how else to explain it to you except like you feel it. I was like, so maybe, I said, the only thing I can explain to you is this. If you read a poem that you thought was like, oh my God, it touched your heart, right? It might be equivalent. I said, because music has lyrics in addition to beat. I was like, and some people, depending on where they're going, what they're going through in life, a song may resonate with them because of the fact that, oh shit, man, I went through that same feeling. Like a lot of Mary J. Blige songs, when she talks about, the heartache, the heartbreak and all that stuff. So many women were in that feeling and knew that Mary, and they could relate to that and they'd been through that. So I was like, that's the only thing I can.
A good way to put it might be like, it's like getting a really good hug.
Yeah. For sure. That's what music is. Just a big hug. So I hope I hugged you today with my music.
That's not creepy at all.
Thank you guys so much for listening. Stay tuned for our Entrepreneur Box, guys. I'm really excited about January. Shout out to BCN Supplements. Shout out to Twin Candles. Shout out to Juice Caboose. And shout out to Cactus Kush, who will be our newest addition for January. So thank you guys so much for listening. See you guys next week.